Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That's very powerful already. Thank you. So today, and today I'm playing the role of Surgeon at Arms. Basically, I'm filling in for Harish, so thanks to him. Before we begin, we have some ground rules for Toastmasters, and I'll also give you the mission and welcome all the guests for your time on a Sunday morning. I know how hard it is to get out of your bed, so thanks for being here. And to start with the mission, I'd like to take the mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Of course, so everything is met via a personal growth, leadership, self-confidence, checkbox for all of them. So thanks for being here once again. And before we set the stage, we have few ground rules for our club. I'll read them out, so please make sure we follow that throughout the meeting. So the first one is, please switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent without any beeps, vibration or alarms so that we don't disturb the speakers. Please take 5 seconds to turn it off to silent. Yes, please. So the second rule is the objective of not disturbing the speaker. So please do not indulge in cross-talk. There will be opportunities for networking during the break and after the conclusion of the meeting. So therefore, let's maintain respect for the speakers who are here and make sure the decorum is maintained throughout. The third one is kindly enter or exit the meeting room only during applause. Do not disturb the meeting that way. So let's make sure that we are being mindful of that. And the final one is we do record and take photos of this meeting. If you want to keep a low profile in your social media, please let us know and we'll edit you out. And in Toastmasters, we respect everyone's opinion, so therefore we refrain from discussing sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. Therefore, I come to the introduction of our presiding officer, Vishwajit. Vishwajit is a procurement professional with a keen interest in operations, sales, and technology. Outside work, he enjoys fiction, manga, debating, and running. Thank you, Vishwajit.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the role at last minute. A very warm welcome to everyone to meeting number 914 at Gurgaon Toastmasters Club. I am Vishwajit and I am the presiding officer for today. Before I start with everything, I want to make a few announcements. Number one is that I'm happy to share that we have reached 60% renewals, and kudos to the membership team, Toastmaster Vilash, Sachin and Bhavya, the treasurer. And I'm also delighted to share that Toastmaster Ajay Mehra has completed level 4 in presentation mastery. Thank you, sir, and thank you for being so proactive in updating the portal. So a lot of members have been giving speeches, moving up the levels, but they have not been updating the portal. So I would sincerely urge everyone to please take out time and go through the entire Toastmaster pedagogy and update the portal on a regular basis. With that, I will first start off with introducing Toastmasters, since there are a lot of guests today. So Toastmasters was started about 100 years back in 1925 by Ralph C. Smedley in California, and the first club was known as Smedley Chapter 1. Since then, this Toastmasters has gone through a period of 100 years and it has expanded to more than 14,000 clubs in India and outside. A typical Toastmasters meeting has a structure which has 3 parts. So first section is speaking section, where 4 speakers like we have today written on the board. They come and they present speeches on certain pathways, which is pathways is nothing but a teaching structure given by Toastmasters which everyone follows. The second section is table topic section where members or even guests can come and participate. They have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on an impromptu topic. It's just like the extempore that we used to have in the school days. Third section is the evaluation section where each of the 4 speakers that we have in the first section, those get evaluated, as well as there is evaluation for various other aspects of communication. So in short, to summarize, Toastmasters is actually not a classroom, it's a learn by doing workshop. The members learn from each other's experiences and they also learn from the evaluations that they are receiving as well as the other people are receiving. So this is what Toastmasters is all about. Now timer, please time me. Let's start with few guest introductions, but in interest of time we'll keep it reserved to 5 minutes and then we'll take some of them at the end. So I'll start with here. Neeraj, can you introduce yourselves again?
Hi, I'm Neeraj Agarwal. I was the president of Toastmasters Club of Baroda, recently moved to Gurgaon. I'm basically a technology professional and been associated with Toastmasters for 2 years. I've finished my level 2 and I'm looking forward to joining this club as soon as you guys let me. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj. Happy to have you. Ma'am,
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kirti Dua. I'm a finance professional working as a chief financial officer in a logistics company. I have taken one initiative and probably in one of my forum when I will get that opportunity, I will introduce about my initiative. But in that initiative, I'm supposed to give a speech in Dubai on 23rd and 24th September. So I want to do some preparation around it. So that was my idea behind joining this. Thank you very much. Very, very excited.
Hi, myself Bhagwan Singh and I'm working in a technology firm as a tech PM and currently looking out for improving my communication and public speaking skills. And that's the reason I'm here.
thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Priya Arora. I run a corporate training firm and I've been in this space for about 17 years. My reason of coming here was just to get to the next level in speaking. And I was always intrigued about it, Toastmasters, so I thought why not? And it is a Sunday, so I thought it would be a good start to my day and hence I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. We are happy to have you.
Hi, good morning everyone. I am Aditya Arora and I run a workwear company. I am here to improve my communication.
Thank you, Aditya.
Hi everyone, my name is Sumit Rao. This is my first session here as a guest and I have come here to improve my public speaking skills and improve my networking skills also.
Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Shadab Hussain. This is my first session here as a guest. Looking forward to this, looking forward to understand the game. I work as a sales professional in a SaaS organization and look forward to improve my communication skills.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Aradhya Sharma. I am a management consultant at Alvarez & Marsal. This is the third meeting that I have joined as a guest. Looking forward to this session. My aim is to enhance my leadership and communication skills. So looking forward.
Hi everyone, I'm Shreya. Currently I'm a product manager. So I was part of Toastmaster back in my college. So I thought of exploring it in Gurgaon. That's why. And this is my first meetup as a guest.
Welcome, Shreya.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Tejasvi Sharma. So I am a tech professional working as a senior machine learning scientist at GoDaddy. So here, this is my second session as a guest here. So I came here to improve my public speaking skills. Looking forward to this session.
Good morning, my name is Rakesh. I am a data person and everyone, if someone wants to know about the data, how you can build something, so reach out to me. And here, this is my third session and I'm looking forward to get membership soon. Did get this one from 3 people. And the aim is to join this to networking, implement the next level of communication and stage fear. Like most of people have stage fear, so
Hello everyone, my name is Ashu Akash and I am a student at MDI Gurgaon pursuing executive MBA over there. I have been past member of VIP Patna Toastmasters Club back in my college and I have served as president also over there. I'm really looking forward to the Gurgaon Toastmasters Club and the meetings that go on over here. And I hope to learn communication skills from here, and I hope to one day perhaps join the club again.
Welcome, Ashu, and we look forward to your feedback at the end of the session. With that, we will move on with the day, and I would like to introduce the Toastmaster of Day, Kritika. Kritika is management consultant by profession and with a passion for learning and traveling. She is a national level Taekwondo player and a passionate swimmer as well. Toastmaster Kritika, when life changes the script.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
So I actually have the privilege of serving you all as the Toastmaster of the day, and I'm very excited about it. But before we begin, I would actually want all of you to think about the most recent time or the last time when life did not happen according to your plan. This is a rhetorical question. I would want you to sit with it. I want you to think. Now, it could be something small or it could be something huge. Probably, now I don't want to touch any nerves here. It could be a deserving promotion that you were robbed of, a job switch, or a relationship probably that you thought would be successful, unfortunately turned out to be a bummer. I want you to think of that last time. Is it fair for me to assume that that last time might have been recently? Is that fair to assume?
Yes.
And that is exactly what I want to talk about today, and that is that theme. Yes, it's okay. So that is my theme for today, when life changes the script. Before moving on, I would like to introduce the person who's going to be watching this all very closely today, General Evaluator, TM Bhavish.
Finally, I've taken up this role after a long time. Hello everyone. So, I would begin with asking you one question, and this is directed towards guests, not members. How do you think we improve?
Feedback.
Correct. I do. Yeah. So the feedback, this is the most crucial part of Toastmasters. Initially, when I joined here, and most of you who would eventually join any of the Toastmasters, we think that the best part is to come onto the stage and practice how you speak. You know, 60 or 70% of that whole chunk is what kind of a feedback do you get when you come onto the stage, when you practice your speech. And this is what my job today is. I've taken this role after a very long time. The general evaluator evaluates how the meeting goes. Every aspect of the meeting I have to consider, and if it's aligned with the Toastmasters theme that we already have in place. I'll be joined with a few more members out here, and they'll be having specific roles. So I would like to invite first the timer of the day, Toastmaster Ganesh.
Good morning everyone. So I'll be timing all the themes, means the speakers, timing the table topics and the evaluators. I'll be showing the green card for speakers at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes and red card at 7 minutes. And for evaluation, the time allowed is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. The 2.5, I'll show the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. And for table topics, the time allowed is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll be showing the green, yellow, and red card at 1 minute, 1.5, and 2 minutes. Please ensure that the grace time for each member or each section will be 30 minutes at upper side and lower side.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, sorry. Except table topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karim. Do we have somebody who's Abhilash? Abhilash. Is this your first speech?
No,
So next we have is our counter, Toastmaster Sachin.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sachin, and I'll be serving as our counter for the day. This role literally evaluates and gives you feedback on a lot of recurring ums and different sorts of fill-up words. These words might give a bumpy ride to your speech, and the whole idea is take a pause or breathe instead of just speaking any of the filler words. And I'll be jotting down all the all the speakers or anyone who is showing up on this stage, and I'll share my report at the end of the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Next we have is the grammarian, Toastmaster Alicia.
Good morning, everyone. I will be serving as grammarian today. So I will be listening carefully, good grammar, effective languages, powerful vocab, and good phrases. So I will count how many times the word of the day and the idiom of the day are used during meeting. The word of the day is pristine, which means pure, flawless, or in perfect condition. For example, our club creates a pristine environment where everyone feels encouraged to speak. And the idiom of the day, in the driver's seat, which means to be in the controlled situation. For example, practice puts you in the driver's seat. And also, okay, so if anyone uses word of the day, so I'll request everyone just raise thumbs up, and if anyone use idiom of the day, just show a victory sign. And I encourage everyone, please use both of the word of the day and the idiom of the day, and I will share my observation at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Oftentimes, I have realized when I'm in Toastmasters, I'm so focused on if I'm having a speech or if I'm playing a role, I often forget about what the speech is all about, if anybody is giving a speech. And today, the role that I've taken is primarily so that I can pay attention and finally be aware. We have an evaluator specifically for that, Toastmaster Hema, who will be noting down the details of the speech. So, and if at the end of when we have this evaluation, she'll be asking questions so as to know how aware we were, how we were paying attention.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be in the driver's seat of listening. So the most important, there's a person called the father of modern management, Peter Drucker. I hope few of them have known it. He said the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. So today I'll be listening to all of the events and speakers, and at the end of today's session we'll have a small activity where we'll go through and have a quiz of who listened what and who did not listen. Good luck with listening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hema. I think today it will be more of a my test that how aware I am. I'll be presenting my report in the second section. I'll be handing over the stage back to Toastmaster Kritika.
Thank you so much, TM Bhavish. Coming back to the theme, when life changes the script. Before we talk about that, I would like for us to take a step back and talk about the script, the plan itself. I believe a lot of us over here might have a plan, not for 5 years, but for a year. In our journals, someone might have it jotted down in their diaries. Some might have it in color-coded Excel workbooks, or some might just know what they want to do. I don't want to point any fingers out, but does any one of you over here have actually thought what their life should look like in the next 5 years, or probably they have ever wondered a couple of years ago how their life should be looking like in 2026. A New Year resolution, something of that sort. Is there anyone who's ever planned? You have? Thank you. You have? Anyone else who as well? Thank you. Thank you so much. A lot of us do actually plan our lives, and there is nothing wrong in it. But I want to ask from the people who do actually plan their lives, how many of you are where you plan to be? Is there anyone who planned a year ago or 5 years ago that they want to be at an X point of their life today, and they are at that point? Is there anyone of that? Well, that's good to know. At least this could have gone to it. So this actually is very reassuring that we all are in the same boat. There's no one who planned to be at some place at some time is there. And that's what makes us human. Now the people who actually handle those changes are the ones who are good planners. They are actually the ones who learned to hold their plans loosely, firmly enough to move forward, but loose enough to pivot when required. And our first speaker today has been on exactly that kind of journey. With that, I would like to introduce PM Ajay Mehra sir, who'd been working for 50 years. He's a veteran in the aviation industry. He's retired, and now he's currently pursuing his personal passions.
Youngest person.
Oh yes, before I call upon the stage PM Ajay Mehra sir, I would like to call upon his evaluator, DTM Manish. So sorry guys, it's my first time. I need some grace.
Thank you, Kritika. So Mr. Mehra is delivering his level 5 project 2 speech from the Pathway Presentation Mastery. The project is called Lessons Learned. He has to deliver a well-organized speech. He may choose to speak on any aspect of the Lessons Learned meeting, his experience as a leader, the impact of leading a team, or any other topic that he feels appropriate. But the speech must relate in some way to his experience as a leader. The speech may be persuasive, humorous, or any other style that he chooses. The style that he selected should support his topic. And time, please note, the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Mr. Mehra.
PM Ajay Mehra sir, take versus belief, take versus belief.
Thanks a lot. A lot of responsibility the way he said my role, my faith. Anyway, I already planned what I was going to talk, and it's let me start with the experience you must have gone through. You know the name of Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudeva, and you also know Barkha Dutt, the maverick journalist who would go right to the war front. So one day, Barkha Dutt is interviewing Jaggi Vasudeva, and she says, Guruji, people talk about gurus, so where is the God in the whole case? Because you people assume the role. Because he said that beyond your 5 senses, anything else that comes to your mind is God. So she says, by that reckoning, there is no God anywhere. So he says, and she was explaining his position. He said, do you drive a car in Bombay? She said, sometimes. He says, it's an unknown terrain, a road that you don't know, and you hear a voice. Go 100 meters straight. Then take a left turn. You go 200 meters, and then you take a sharp right turn. He said, there is some voice that is guiding you. If you don't like the lady's voice, you can change it to a man's voice. But he says, what matters is that there is some source that is guiding you. So he turned it around and said, the GPS is the Guru protection system, or God protection system. So he comes down from there, basically saying that if you have faith and belief, the Lord, what can happen. My point was that the words faith and belief to many of us are somewhere, intermixed, or the meanings, the differentiation lost out. Belief is something that is true to your own self, and it doesn't depend on any evidence that you require. Now, if you take the case of a student studying and he knows the effect of gravity. Gravity is Newton's law, and it is inculcated in him through all the readings, push, pressures, everything else. So he knows the gravity and he doesn't ever forget it. Then if you take the case of Bernoulli's theorem, every engineer knows what to do with it, but they have a faith in what the theorem can do, and they devise a pit-off tube which is outside the aircraft, and the pilot has the belief in the function of the tube, said what speed am I going in which direction. So these are things that keep happening because you've got belief. When it comes to faith, faith is something that you accept internally to yourself, which has not been challenged by anyone. The only time your faith is being challenged is when you're talking to someone and there are differences in what others are saying, but eventually you channel to your own faith and your belief, and in that faith and belief you are master of what you think, and that is what changes your personality. Take the example that you go into a temple. Outside the temple, there are these vendors sitting, they're selling sweetmeats, they're selling the tulsi meat, they're selling flowers, garland, and a basket. Your belief tells you that these exist as commercial items that I'm buying. You buy them, you take the pottery inside and go to the pujari. You give him the thing and you put some cash, he does a prayer, and he returns it back to you. All he does is touches the sweet to the mouth of that statue, and whatever that thing is, and then he gives it back to you, and you come out of the place, and your belief has got turned into faith. Said this is now the prasad, not the commercial item that you bought. So that is where the faith comes in, and you orient yourself to saying, this is what I believe in. You take the case of a tightrope walker. He ties a rope, he tests the rope, he knows the engineering design and the weight that can carry his weight, but yet when he's moving, there's a belief is that the wire will hold his weight and will get him through. When he's somewhere in the middle, he wobbles deliberately at times, and in that wobbling, his faith comes up that I've done this 300 times and I will never fail. So that is when the faith comes over the belief. Then if you take other cases like, you're sitting on this chair. Before you sit on this chair, you just sit down without testing the physics whether it can take your weight or not. Your faith is in the chair, in the design that it can take your weight and you will not fall, the chair won't break. But you do this without testing the physics of it. Then if you take the case of anybody who's, like there's an old watch in the house, and you decide to wind the watch, your grandfather's saying the old mechanical ones. With that watch, what happens is that you are able to wind it to get it going. After 5 decades, you see the damn thing is still working. And if you realize when you first found that watch, you said that the belief says junk it, the faith says wind it. So in the two cases, it survived. What matters most now is that when you are deciding between faith and belief, belief is something that has been inculcated in you through studies, through doctrines, through arguments, and what is through argument embedded in you. So that becomes your main belief. But the belief is what you've got in your mind, with all the questions for which you have answers. But faith is when your mind stops working and you don't have answers to the questions that come up to you. That's a great difference between the two. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was actually a very wonderful speech. trying to answer one of the oldest questions, faith versus belief, does help us a lot to understand how to differentiate between them. Coming back to the pristine plans that we create for ourselves. So, what is the one thing that even the most meticulous of a person would forget to add into that plan? What could that one thing be that almost everyone forgets to add into their plan?
External factors? Sometimes it could just be faith.
That's actually a very good answer.
Consistency.
Surprises.
It changes. Yes, surprises. It surprises somewhat the detour, which is actually our next segment. So the detour is something which we know we are going to face, and yet most of us, we forget to add that to our plans. When we ask anyone as to what moment shaped their life the most, they always say, I wasn't supposed to be there, but I wasn't supposed to meet that person who changed my life, but. And that but, that nudge, that's the detour, the unplanned growth, the situation nobody signed up for, that somehow became that they're most grateful for. Think about this room. Think about how many of you joined Toastmasters not because it was the most obvious next step, but probably because of a fear or a friend or a feeling that maybe you needed this. That nudge, that small unexpected turn was a detour, and look where it brought you today. Detours are uncomfortable when you're in them, because when you're in a detour, it feels like you've been lost. You don't have the perspective yet to see where the road is going. You don't zoom out to see the map. You just have to keep moving and trust that the route hasn't disappeared. It's just changed the shape. But here's what I find beautiful about detours. They take you to places that the original plans could have never taken you to. They introduce you to people you would have never met because of that unplanned decision. The most interesting people that I've ever met is also because of this detour. With that, I would like to call upon our next speaker, TM Jyoti Arora. She describes herself as the sister of 2 brothers, proud mom of 2 daughters, the Wi-Fi of 1 husband, always connected, and most importantly, enough for herself. She likes to believe she's like old wine, getting better, stronger, and a little more expensive at times. I agree with her. But before that, I'd like to call upon stage her evaluator, TM Linky.
So today we have Jyoti. It seems she's taken the driver's seat long time back. She's going to be presenting her icebreaker today, and her pathway is engaging with humor. Give her, and of course it's a icebreaker, so we all know after the icebreaker we all stand up to give a standing ovation. So all the best to Jyoti.
TM Jyoti, a small girl with wings, a small town girl with wings. TM Jyoti.
A day in grade 9 Kendriya Vidyalaya School. It was the morning assembly. My class teacher suddenly said, Jyoti, you will read the news today. Before I processed the information, she placed a handwritten slip in my hand. And barely in 30 minutes, I was on the stage, speaking very confidently in front of entire school. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This was not prepared. I did not plan that. But that was me, showing up, adapting, and taking a step further whenever needed. I was born as a first child with the 2 siblings. I grew up in a small township called Khetri Nagar near Bits Pilani in Rajasthan. My mom would proudly call me as her Lakshmi. My dad would proudly raise me as a boy. He trusted me with many responsibilities. Going to the bank, fixing the small electrical things at home, and teaching me to ride a scooter. Now remember, it was 1980s. So riding a scooter for a girl was almost a headline news. I completed my mathematics honors from Ajmer. Before I planned my life with mathematics, life blinded. I got married at the grand age of 22, which I still call a child marriage. When my daughter was 2 years old, life suddenly gave me wings. My husband got a job in Japan. We just moved. At that time, my entire knowledge of Japan was limited to only one thing: the Sayonara song from the movie Love It Tokyo. But when I reached there, Japan was a complete different world. Different language, different people, altogether different culture and different environment. 13 years in Japan quietly shaped me. I discovered my love for quality, for cooking, for learning new languages. And I was spot on to connect with new people. Life was going great. But was I missing something? After 13 years, life gave me wings again. This time to Singapore. Singapore felt closer to home. More Indians, more opportunities to grow. I did 2 diplomas and entered the corporate world. I made wonderful friends and I discovered my new version, fun-loving version. Life was going well, but was I missing something? After 13 years again, life gave me wings. This time back to India. It was not because of my husband's job. It was my decision this time. I decided to come back to my roots, to my parents, and somewhere to myself. I didn't know what I was searching for, but there was a strong inner calling. Over a year and a half in India, my friends would start telling me, Jyoti, you are more expressive now. You talk so much now. Oh my God, you are a vocal. And one day I realized all those years what I was missing is not the country, not my career here, not any role, but my voice, which I got back here in India. When I look back, I realize every place gave me wings. Japan taught me quality. Singapore helped me grow professionally. And my India gives me my voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Josie. It's always wonderful to see when someone is in their driver's seat of their own life. Kudos to that. Coming back after talking about our plan, the detour, what is it that we can expect after that detour?
New avenue.
Adaptability.
Resilience.
Acceptance.
Navigating uncharted water.
Huh?
Navigating uncharted water. New plan.
Yes. New plan. The rewrite. So there is a moment, and I think most of us have had it, even if we've never named it, where something quietly shifts. It's not a dramatic moment. There's no thunderstorms, no movie swelling in the background. It's quieter than that. It's the moment you stop waiting. Stop waiting for things to go back to the way they were. Stop saying, once this phase is over, or when things finally settle down, then I'm going to do this. Stop living in the future tense of your own life, and instead you look at where you actually are. The job as it is, not as you hoped it would be. The relationship as it is, as it stands, not as you imagined it would be. The version of yourself sitting here today with all the choices made and unmade. All the plans that held and the ones that didn't. And you ask, okay, this is what I have, what do I do? That moment, that quiet moment where something shifts, that's the part where you rewrite. Now, I'd like to ask anyone with a lot of experience probably here who would like to share their experience, how it feels when you rewrite. And if it's just once, probably you've rewritten a chapter, or has it occurred multiple times? Anyone who would like to talk on that?
You know, unlike many of you, I took a conscious decision that I've worked this much in life. I don't know how much more I'm going to live, but I cannot go living the same way. So you change your rat race and move to another track where you're running solo, running by yourself. And the problem that comes about is that theoretically you're used to a certain pattern, certain answerability, certain reporting, whatever, and you get up in the morning, habitually you do that. What matters is that when you move away, you don't have all these morning rushes and routines. It takes time to get used to the full life of vacuum life. It's like a gyroscope, big wheel moving, and it will take time to slow down. When it slows down, and then you realize, fine, here I am. What used to happen was, I would travel virtually 3 times a week. And every time you board a plane, you wear a seat. And the joke was that the habit of looking for a seatbelt and tying it may become so infectious that you sit at your dining table in your house and you look for a seatbelt. It's time. It's time.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Yeah, basically for me, life has always been what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. It never works according to plans, but More recently, a trajectory change that happened is, like, I'm a hardcore techie, okay? Filled with lines of code and things like that, and bang, life happened, and I had a problem with my eyes. Now when I start reading code, lines merge into each other, I start making errors. And suddenly, I wasn't as effective as I used to be. Reading got slower. So then I decided what to do, and I got this opportunity for business development. I hate business development. I totally hate it. But then the engineer in me snapped up and said that don't look at it as business development. Look at it as a different systems engineering problem. The problem statement has changed. Use the same engineering mindset. Now you're not dealing with code, you're dealing with people who are much more complex than code. But take it one step at a time. Use the same mindset, a different plan, but the same character. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to share? So, I would like to ask if, yes please, sorry.
Yeah, hi. So I think in my introduction I shared that I'm working as a Chief Financial Officer in a logistics company. But over the 23 years I realized that typical finance, which is basically being taught in school and university, when it comes to the practical life, probably it's not that effective. Right, the cash flow, saving and budgeting, unfortunately has not been taught in school and colleges. And when you start, even though if let's say your children, they have got one job, and when they got their first salary, they don't know, mom, this much has been committed, why I have got this much? Because nobody has taught that these are the taxation which we are going to get deducted from here. So now that's the only reason I thought that, okay, let me start something of my own. So now I've left from this position and started something, the practical finance, which I'm very excited that it's going to be useful for the children. I will talk more about my initiatives about it, but that's the new journey on the channel.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and for everyone who did share. I would like to ask if at any point this new chapter ever felt like it was a failure, or this is something that you shouldn't have done. Never, right? And this is what I want for all of us to understand, that when we are rewriting or we are changing our plans, it does not mean that we are giving up. It's picking up the pen, not erasing what was before it, but to write the next chapter in a way that actually fits who you are right now. Not who you plan to be, not who someone else expected you to become, but who you actually are, and that takes courage. Because rewrites require us to admit something most of us resist, that the initial plan is just a draft. It's not the final plan. We are allowed to change our minds, change our direction, change the story without it meaning we fail. Most of us were never really taught that. We were taught to stick to the plan, to finish what we started, to be consistent. And consistency, it is a virtue, but not when you've outgrown the personality that you used to be. The most grounded people we've ever encountered, some of whom did share their stories as well, they are the ones who actually carry a certain quiet confidence which almost would not have been there if there wasn't one significant rewrite. With that, I would like to call upon stage the next speaker, TM Shuchi Agrawal. She describes she is also our VP Education.
She's outside. Let's go for the fourth one.
She's outside.
Yeah, let's go for the fourth one.
First, take a bit. Take a last first, I believe.
So let me just quickly read out his dissertation. Just a second. So sorry guys. So I'd like to call upon stage our next speaker, TM Abhilash Verma. He describes himself as a staff engineer at Stryker, where he has spent the last 7 years building his career. Before joining the industry, he graduated from IIT Madras. When he is not plugged into technical challenges, you usually find him capturing moments through photography or listening to a good audiobook. But before that, I'd like to call upon stage his evaluator, TM Sachin.
TM Siddhant is not here, so I'm picking up his role at the very last moment. I'm going to evaluate my target speaker, TM Abhilash, who is delivering his first speech after ice breaking, and it's his dynamic leadership pathway. All the best, Abhilash. I'll share my report at the end.
TM Abhilash Verma, nothing, TM Abhilash.
Thank you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you find this pause little awkward? Your inner voice is saying, why he is not starting? What is this stopping him? Or inner voice is saying, why it is taking too much time for him? That is a pause, my friend, is missing in our life. Today I am going to talk about the subtle art of doing nothing. So let me take you my journey almost 3 years back when I was working in one of the critical projects for my company, which was very crucial for my promotions. At that time, I was working day and night. I was working on emails, I was working on presentation, and one evening I was planning to deliver a critical presentation on one of the projects. There I have prepared everything in parallel. There's a ping coming from my manager that do this. I'm also responding to that. There's an email coming from his skip manager. I'm responding to that. And also a ping from Instagram that, hey, did you watch this reel? Every friend is sharing a reel nowadays. Constant notification of that. In parallel, there are a lot of war happening across, and there's a news pop-up because of Twitter. And I was doing one thing, but having a mind in all the 100 things. I was focused on, I have to focus on one thing, but I was allotted myself for all the 100 things. And the presentation of what I was talking about, that was a crucial for me and as well as for my promotions. I was almost drafted the first thing, but when I looked at it, it was a crap, fully bullshit. It was, it will be scrapped out from the first draft itself. And I was thinking what to do, and there was nothing coming to my mind. I was distracted like anything. I was not able to generate a new idea. And suddenly there was a multiple message came on team that why you are not able to do it. There is a deadline for today evening. What are you doing? And at that moment I just crashed out. I just crashed out in the chair, and I was not able to generate even a single idea, and was just lying in a chair and seeing the fan. It was rotating. I was thinking what to do. I think I'm not able to do anything because I have a lot of work to accomplish. But when I stopped myself and realized, to be honest, I was only allotted one task to complete that project and complete that presentation along with that. Everything was a noise. Everything was a noise because I was got too distracted because of those. And when I looked at the fan, I closed my eyes. Suddenly, start thinking about the thing from the fundamental level, and I found a dot which is connecting to my project and the problem statement. That was a moment when I realized a new idea. And I pitched that idea and it was a wonderful, finally I got promoted because of that presentation. If we see this thing very closely, we have multiple things to do but not having enough time for ourselves, introspect ourselves. Even in history, the greatest invention did not happen because of Newton was replying 100 emails in a parallel and inventing the law of Newton. He was able to do it because he was sitting in a garden and observing the nature and saw a apple was falling from the tree, and there he invented a principle called gravitational theorem. And it's not a random thing, giving a time to yourself, it's not a random thing because it's backed by science. When you sit silence and you think and retrospect yourself, there's a term called DMN, default mode network, get activated. At that time, your baseline get reset, your dopamine level, what you're getting your brain by constant stimulation, get resetted because of that DMN. And when you don't give that time to yourself, you're always in the constant hunger of stimulation. And because of that, you have a brain fog and constant confusion and anxiety about it. That was the thing happening to me back in that same story. And if you see in a Sunday afternoon, after this Toastmaster meeting, if you go and lie down on a sofa, don't pull out your phone and start scrolling. If you get time to wait for something or wait on a metro station for a next train, don't pull out a earphone and plug into your head, plug into yourself and start listening. Give some time to yourself and observe. That was the message I wanted to share with you all. If you have it, one message or one take-home message from this discussion, please give a time for yourself. Thank you. That's my
Thank you, team Abhilash. It is required in this extremely hectic life that we have, and we are brain rotting ourselves to take some time for us. So coming back to the next segment, after we've talked about our plan, our detour, and we've rewritten our next chapter, we expect an unexpected character from us at this stage. Every real messy human story has a character we never saw coming. Not the one we planned for, the unexpected one. The person who appeared sideways in a moment you weren't ready for. And something changed in you. Sometimes it's a stranger, a connection or a conversation on a flight that goes somewhere you never expected. Sometimes someone you met once and never saw again, but who said one thing that rewired how you think about a particular conversation. Has this ever happened with any one of you?
So I was at Vipassana and I met this lady and she told me a very profound thing. She told me that every person is like a door and you don't have control over when it opens and when it shuts off.
So it's a lesson to be learned. So whenever it's time for you to enter the door, they'll teach you a lesson, and when it's your time is done, you'll leave that door and it closes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Is it always a person or a conversation that has probably changed something in you or created that spark? Has it ever been something which is not a living entity? Probably a book you might have read. Phone.
ChatGPT.
That's actually a good one, yeah. Phone, ChatGPT, AI, and Instagram brain rotting us. Apart from that,
one can easily get inspiration, but that moment comes very rarely when you're by yourself and you're looking at the nature, and there are many things which are concurrently going on every moment. If you could somehow pay attention to it, there are deeper life lessons that could transform you, transition you into a very, very different self. And that happens when you are paying attention. Because most of us at every second of our lives are so much distracted that we don't have time. But if we can pay attention, and I've seen that, even swinging on the leaves in a little breezy, windy place could teach you a lot. And when you draw a line around it, it still moves and somehow, gets back into the same journey, and it wants to get to the destination wherever it wants to. And it is relentless. These kind of things we often don't pay attention to, but they are like profound.
thank you so much, Pavish. That is actually what I wanted to even speak about us being present. Because a lot of times it's only in the hindsight or when we're retrospecting that we understand that, okay, this was an epiphany or this was an aha person in my life who really changed something for me. But when we are present, when we are genuinely in the room, even if we talk about us being in the room today, when we are present, we can capture those moments. We can understand what can stir that change in us. With that, I would like to call upon stage our next speaker, TM Shuchi Agrawal. She is also our VP Education. Today, she is stepping away from that role to share something personal. A story about a mentor, a lesson, and a choice most people never make. But before that, I'd like to call upon her evaluator, TM Ruchira.
Good morning, everyone. A pleasure to evaluate Toastmaster Shruti today, who's delivering her Project 4 Level 1 speech. The idea behind this project is to manage difficult audience. It's difficult, yeah. Timer, please note that the timing for a speech is 5 to 7 minutes, but if there are interruptions, then the timing might exceed to 12 to 15 minutes. Audience, brace yourself. Sit, relax, and enjoy her speech. I'll be here with my observations at the end of the session.
I am Shuchi Agrawal. The car he never turned over. The car he never turned over.
Okay, before I start, I want all of you to remember 3 words. Just 3. I'll come back for that. Card, clock, ocean. Just say these words once in your mind and hold on to them. Today, I'm going to introduce you with someone. But before I take you to that, I would like to take you to the day I had almost never met him. My father enrolled me for these classes. Not me, he. I want you to pay attention to the next line. Because I was a teenager at that time, I didn't want to go. I hadn't asked for it. But without any choice, I have to go there. So next morning, I get ready. I want your attention to be here for next line. As I got ready. At that time, I used to wear suits. So I get ready in my blue suit with a dupatta pinned up. Already annoyed that I have to go. And then I was late. So I did one thing which I could do. I took my bicycle and paddled it as hard as my legs could to reach there. My dupatta was trailing in the air. And then, right at the turn before his gate, the dupatta caught into the wheel and the cycle jogged. My hand scraped against the metal, and before I could even understood what was happening, I was in the middle of the road when my suit crumbled, dupatta torn, and a red mark on my hand. I still remember the stink of it. And I remember thinking with certainty, like a teenager, why did I even come here? I had not stopped. I had not stepped into the door through and already wanted to turn and go back home. But then somehow I managed to go. Now I would like to bring your attention to this. There I saw a man with a deck of 52 cards.
Why didn't you tell your dad that you don't want to go?
Because as a teenager, I want to enjoy my holidays, not to go to some class to attend it. So, that card I have seen in his hand, he was not a magician holding the card. That card, he told, cut it, shuffle it, arrange it any order. And then he looked out at all those 52 cards just for a minute. Just for a minute.
Yes. Nothing is.
It's not difficult at all. Why the audience is not being difficult?
I also thought it's not difficult at all. But within a minute, he remembered it. He remembered it and without any mistake, in the same order, he recited every single card. Every single card of it. And then took hundreds of words from the audience, took hundreds and more words, repeated them in the same sequence. I was shocked and completely forgot about my hand. Now, the name of this guy is, please hear it carefully. The name of this guy is Mahavir Jain. His name was recorded in Limca Book of Records for remembering any word from the dictionary of Oxford in just 16 seconds along with the page number. This guy started his journey 3 years back and he achieved it. They were 3 brothers raised by a single mother from a poor family, from a small city like Palwal. He managed to build his name in the book of records. That is how he did it. Every time a new student, every time in his class, for a student, he just draws some lines and they have to get the idea behind it, the learning behind it.
The ocean.
That day, ocean? What's that?
3 words, no?
I think that was.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to those 3 words. Just listen a little more. Little more patience I want
I
from
think
you.
it was a card he never turned over. I'm not sure.
The card,
You will, when you will hear it, then you will come to know what were those words. Okay? So, every time, this was now my day. For my day, he draw 2 roads. 2 roads. One is the thin one and one is the wider one. Splitting from one single point. One single point. Above one, he wrote 98%.
Above the other road, he wrote 1% and told me to explain it. Can you explain it, Kritika?
What?
What I just said?
A card, a cloth, and an ocean.
She said no. What I just explained.
Oh, you
98%.
98.
No, not 90. Yes. What message he want me to explain at that time?
Active listener has come.
So he told me to stand up and explain it. I fumbled through the words, thought it was some choice of path or something else. But then he explained me the real meaning of that. He told me, tougher way becomes easier and easier way becomes tougher. 99% of people take the wider road, but there are only 1% people who take the narrow road.
So what you
That
said, that
was-
98% people become duffer? 98% people become duffer? What we said?
98% people don't become duffer. They take a easier path.
What is the
To
source
reach
of
in
that
their life.
statistic?
I was about to ask that question, I swear.
What is your question?
What is the source of that statistic? Who said 98%?
What is the source of?
That statistic, 98%.
So basically, whenever we see there was a rush or crowd, we all want to go there.
This is specific.
But there is
Normal distribution, you say? Normal distribution?
normal.
98%, 68, 67%.
So it's subjective, you don't have the data to back it.
Empirical data, I think you are taking.
Anecdotal.
Yeah. See, for example, only hardly 1 or 2 climbers climb the Mount Everest. Not everybody
How do you
go
say
there.
that? How do you say
Because
that?
I have seen it.
You've seen it.
So whosoever
Yes,
starts,
you
he
can
reaches.
search, huh?
Whosoever starts, he reaches there.
Yeah, whoso. But everybody is not starting it now.
Because
That
we are
is what
not
everybody is
interested.
not taking the
We
different
don't
path.
wanted sample size.
Yeah,
We
so
only
that's-
counted who got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will not be the correct percentage then.
See, if I see in this room, everybody will not start climbing the mountain.
Why to go there?
I'm just giving you an example of those 1% people who do this. For example, the person I'm talking about, he left his job and started this. Being in a poor family, all burden was on his shoulders.
Poor can't start mountain, right?
So, to climb a Mount Everest, we don't need to be poor. We can be rich and start climbing. It just need a physical fitness.
So not everyone is physically fit. So even if
No,
you
what
want
the gear
to,
you
they
need to be
cannot.
Sorry, I'm not agree with this.
Why
but
to go
everyone
to
is
mountain?
physically
I don't
fit.
No,
understand.
if you have high BP, you cannot really climb a mountain.
So
You cannot
everybody
go
is
to-
not physically fit now. That is what I'm telling you. Tell everybody is
But
physically
then they
fit.
are not in a
So everybody is not physically fit to take the narrow.
Everybody should be mentally fit to take. For example, I just was reading about one of the mountain climber that she has broken her leg but still climbed I'm forgetting her
Yes,
name.
yes, I
Yes.
She still climbed just because of her
Mental
mental
toughness.
challenge.
But I forgot what the topic of your speech was.
I will make you back to that. Definitely I will make you back. So that day when he has given me that quote, that day those classes were not the classes for which my father has enrolled me. Those were the classes where I want to go. He became my mentor and most of the life lessons in my life I learned from him. Then I went for my MCA and a new life, a new college started. My calls with him got thinned, not because he raised, but because something else has filled up the life. One evening, I was just sitting. One message I saw on my phone from an old batchmate. Back to back 2 messages. Those 2 messages were, did you hear? Sir is no more. Cancer. He got married 2 years back, has a 6-month-old daughter, wanted to make 2nd world record in Guinness Book of Record, and now he is no more. He turned every card of every card of the deck like nobody else can. Right? He could not turn one card. He survived the 52 cards, but he could not survive for more 52 years. That day, a teenager girl has already taken the narrow path. He could not see his daughter's first step, his daughter's first word, but he changed a teenager girl, a bleeding, fumble teenager girl, into someone who is standing in front of this room on purpose. So anytime in life, when you find difficulties, you will also always have two choices to make. You will always have two roads. One, the wider one will be taken by 99% people, and the narrow one will be taken by 1%. And I will be there waiting for you to that 1%.
And she really handles that.
I didn't know.
So, the last segment of when life changes the script, which is now. Be present. 4 speakers, 4 stories, a question about faith, a detour that brought someone somewhere unexpected, a card that was never turned over, and nothing.
Ocean, I would say.
Which, sorry?
Ocean.
Ocean of tears. You have to understand.
Yeah, that was a metaphor. And nothing, which I suspect turned out to be quite a lot. Now let's bring it back to us. Us in the driver's seat spotlight, which I think most of us enjoy. Every person in this room, every one of us, is in the middle of a chapter we didn't really fully finish. Some of us are navigating something that feels overwhelming right now. Some of us are in a quieter season. Some of us walked here today carrying a decision we haven't made yet, a conversation we've been putting off, a version of ourselves we are still figuring out. And we came anyway. The question this theme asks is not how do I prevent my script from changing, because we can't. None of us can. The question is when it does, and I can tell you it will, what do you want to do in that moment? Is there anyone who would want to get a spoiler of their favorite show? No one. And yet we are so stuck up on our plan, on our script, that it shouldn't change. And when it does, we crib about it. But that's the beauty of life. And because no story is complete without a little improvisation, we have an entirely unpredictable part of the session still ahead of us. Table topics. If that isn't a change script, I don't know what is. To TM Tanika.
Morning everyone. Have you ever noticed that life rarely asks for our permission before changing our plans? You plan a vacation, it got cancelled mostly. You prepare for one opportunity and a completely different one knocks on your door. You think you are writing your own story, but suddenly life says, interesting script, but let me make a few edits. And that's exactly what our theme was for today, when life changes the script. In table topics, we experience something very similar. We walk to the stage without knowing what awaits us. Just like in life, we have only a few moments to adapt, think, and continue the story. Today, instead of giving you a topic directly, I'm inviting life to decide your fate. I have 5 folded papers. Each one hides a different plot twist. You won't know which one you have picked until I open it. Inside, you will discover one of these twists. Fortune knocks. Storm ahead. Comedy takes over. Beyond reality. And one more chance. Each twist leads to a different story. Here's how we will play. I will invite one speaker at a time. You will come forward and choose one folder paper. I will open it, reveal your plot twist, and then read your topic. You will have 1 to 2 minutes to tell us how your story unfolds. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers. We aren't looking for perfection. We are looking for imagination, confidence, and your unique perspective. So, is everyone ready to let life rewrite your script?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's start. May I invite our first brave volunteer to the stage? Anyone from the members?
Sriram.
Sorry, I raised his hand.
So I pick a chit. Here we go.
Let's see what is written.
Side gun this one.
What do you think? Which one you want to pick?
I don't know. Probably something. Anything.
Okay, so you have got Fortune knocks.
Fortune knocks. Okay.
You unexpectedly receive a call offering you your dream job, which is not right. What's the first thing you would like to do?
This is Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m. I'm just sitting on my desk, sipping a cup of tea. Really bored with the current activities. I'm just staring at the screen. Then suddenly a phone rings. It's an unknown number. I don't know where this is from. And then I pick it up. So it was not one of the clients or the boss's number. It is something else. And slowly the conversation unfolds. So the person on the phone just asked, we got your number from so-and-so person, and we are looking for you to actually lead this research team. And I was like, okay, how did that happen? So we are actually starting out a new research position and would like you to be part of it, and you will get a chance to lead a team and develop and design new kind of inventions and products. Like, okay, this is interesting. First I thought someone was just pranking me. But then as the conversation went on, it turned out to be a little bit too real. And then I realized, okay, this might be a crossroad. Maybe that opportunity or that call to an adventure that I was waiting for. Maybe the time has come. But I need to think about this. So I just put my phone down, take a whiff. Okay, what just happened? As the clock turned, is destiny having its own way? Maybe so. What do you do in this situation? Are you willing to be brave enough and take the front step? Or are you a little bit worried that this might be not where it leads you? But then again, we as human beings are designed to be the explorers. So I will take that step and move forward.
I also get this call one day. Who was the next guest? Next time.
Can I see a transition in the cards, please? I don't know the time is ready.
Green at 1. Yellow at 1.5.
I'll take the green card, but I'll still have the yellow, okay?
Please pick one.
You'll have to read it out.
Sure.
Your good name, please?
Neeraj Agarwal. Neeraj.
Just once again, can you do that?
Pick it up.
What? Oh, comedy takes over. Let's see. You switch lives with your pet or maybe your favorite animal for one day. Describe your day.
People say it's a dog's life. I wish it was a dog's life. My Labrador. Here I get up in the morning, go buy eggs, bread, come back, make breakfast, go back, and he's nicely sitting, looking at me. Dude, you're a human. What about me? I would love to have a dog's life. Just sit around all day. When I'm getting bored, just take a ball, go to that human who's designed to serve me. I mean, I am the pet, he's the master. What a joke. So yes, a dog's life is the best kind of life ever. You get food served when you want to. You run around when you want to. When that annoying mailman comes, you bark the living daylights out of him. And life goes on beautifully. Yeah, sure, I don't have a restroom, but then the whole world is my restroom, right? I get to pick the cars that I want to wash. And I don't go to Maruti's. I pick Mercedes. I pick BMWs. I know my owner could never pick those cars, but I pick them anyways when I go for a walk. It's a dog's life, and I just totally love it. Thank you.
I can totally agree to this thing. Any member takes number? Members. Yeah, please.
Abir.
A-W. Your topic is one more chance. This is a plot twist. Let me give you a topic. If you could relive one day from your school or if you could relive one day from your school or college life, which day would it be and why?
Yes. If I could relive one day from my college life, it would be the day of graduation, the first day, the day when everyone comes fresh to a new beginning, a new place, far away from your hometown. So that is one day I would really love, because I had made a lot of friends that day. I had made a lot of memories that day, and it was a good beginning. So if there was one more chance, so I would actually live even more to the fullest than I've already done. There's always a chance to make things better, no matter how good it is. Thank you.
I wish I could also go to the college. I never got the chance because of my CA. Yes, next guest. Last. Clear. Your topic or your twist, I would say, beyond reality. A time machine appears in front of you. Would you travel to the past or the future, and why? Thank you.
So if a time machine could and would appear in front of me, I would definitely go back to my past. And when I say past, I would go back to the days when I was a kid, when school had also not started, when life was without a schedule, and when food was just fed into my tummy, all the food that was healthy for me, and I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to manage schedules for house staff, office staff, team members, etc. And when my parents would look at me with smiles, pamper me to the core, and I would definitely want to relive those memories. I lost my father in May this year, and I think if I could truly use a time machine, I would go back and relive all those days, all those moments that I now endearly miss. And yes, I think it's a brilliant topic that I got today, because today in the morning when I woke up, I was thinking of exactly this. So my friends, while we don't have a time machine in reality, we do have the option of living to the fullest the moment that we are in. The moment that we are in right now. So as you listen to me, as you make your notes, the evaluators and the timers, etc., make this your best moment. Yeah. Thank you.
One more? Yeah, sure.
Most distracting. Yeah, and this was not planned at all.
Story ahead. Your phone disappears for an entire week. How would your life change?
What was the
Stove ahead.
song? My phone disappears.
We wouldn't be able to get this week. I was recently in a trip where I hardly used my phone for anything. So I could just relive the moment what she had given me. I was in the outskirts of Leh Ladakh, where we were driving a bike with a group of friends and some strangers. The phone was for no use. Hardly we took the phone out for clicking pictures. But the story starts before that. We always prepare for the storm. Whenever we go for a trip or a mountain trip, the first thing we do is to go to Decathlon to buy some stuff which actually don't need. I too bought some stuff like that for preparing for the storm which will be happening. That would be the cold deserts of Leh Ladakh which will be present. I bought some heat patches for myself and for my Billy and my sister. We thought we will use this when there's a storm. That is, when there will be a cold desert we'll be plunging into, where we want to use it, somewhere where if we get stuck in middle of the road. We went up, it was chill. We both were discussing, should we use it now? She said no, let us save it for some worst day, for the worst storm. I said okay. We moved to the next day. We were in Hanle. It was still cold. We were wearing 2 socks, 2 sweaters, a thermal and a blanket, and we were discussing, should we open it at least now? And we didn't open. We said there will be another day when we will go back. That time we did it. Today at least we have heater and hot water here. We will not use it. And we went to Pangong Lake. The view was very good, but as it settled down, we were not having any cold water, and the water was only timed between the morning 7 and 8. We decided, should we use it tonight? I said, okay, let us see and wait for some moment to use it. The night passed by. but we didn't get to use it. We brought it back to Gurgaon. It's still laying in my cupboard. I don't know what to do. We waited for the storm to come by. It came us. We embraced the storm for what, I don't know. Even with the mobile or without the mobile, it doesn't matter. But if you are being prepared for something, if you are not using what you are prepared at the right moment, you will be enduring or facing the difficulties. You will get a frostbite or whatnot, but you will not be prepared for it. So if you are prepared for something, please use it. If you have a knife to cut the bread, please use to cut the bread. Don't wait, I can eat it directly.
So, what an amazing collection of stories. This meeting reminded us that life doesn't always follow the script we write. Sometimes it surprises us with unexpected opportunities. Sometimes it challenges us. Sometimes it makes us laugh. Sometimes it takes us into the unknown. And sometimes it gives us another chance. The wonderful thing is that while we cannot control every plot twist, we can always choose how we respond to it. Thank you to every speaker for embracing the unexpected and reminding us that the best stories are often the ones we never plan. So we are taking a 5 minutes break?
Yes.
5 minutes.
Let's grab our seats. Okay, now we are beginning with the so we are beginning with the next section, which is the evaluation section, the most important part of Toastmasters. So I will ask these tag team members to be here, and they evaluate, they share their report, whatever they have noted down so far. First, I would like to invite the counter. Oh, sorry. I forgot. First, we will begin by calling the speech evaluators, individual speech evaluators. Let me invite Toastmaster DTM Manish for his incredible evaluation.
When you entered this room today, you sat on a chair without testing whether it can hold your weight. That perhaps is not just belief, that's faith. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, Mr. Mehra took the abstract concepts of faith and belief and made them tangible by using everyday examples. Now, whether it was the chair or the God protection system of Sadhguru or the pilot, and with every example, he made the audience see these concepts from a fresh perspective. The second thing that I really liked about the speech was his presence of mind. Right in the beginning, he acknowledged the way his project objectives were described, and that increased the expectation. So that put him in the driver's seat right from the beginning, and that develops a rapport with the audience. It shows you're present in the moment. And the third thing I really liked was his title, Faith versus Belief. Short, intriguing, and immediately created curiosity. Now, while the commendations that I just gave reflect my faith in Mr. Mehra's abilities as a speaker, the recommendations that follow reflect my belief that his subsequent speeches can be even stronger. First, the project objectives required him to relate his speech to his own leadership experience. And right from the beginning, when he talked about the Guru protection system or God protection system, I was waiting that maybe he'll talk about a mentor or Guru in his life and how his faith in a mentor transformed into his belief into his own abilities. But that story never came. Now, if that story was there, that would not have just met the speech objectives, that would have made an emotional connection with the audience. Second, I felt that his pace was very brisk, and that was partly because he had too many ideas in the same speech. There were too many examples. Now, one of my mentors says that write a 5-minute speech and deliver it in 7 minutes. What that does is it gives space for your ideas to breathe. It gives time for your audience to absorb what you want to say. And especially if it's a topic like faith versus belief, they want your audience to reflect. It helps if the pace is slower. To summarize, it was an intellectually stimulating speech. He turned abstract ideas into tangible concepts by using everyday examples. He demonstrated presence of mind. The title was intriguing. If he could just incorporate personal stories and slow down his pace a little bit, I have this unwavering belief that he will be an even better speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. So his entry when he came to the stage with his evaluation, it felt as if he's giving a speech himself, which was a good thing. So oftentimes I realize that when we take up this evaluation role, we feel that I don't want to do the evaluation. I just want to be a speaker. But even this is a good thing to learn from him. Is like you can also transform your evaluation into a speech with the kind of body gestures that you do. Amazing job done. He used the CRC approach, the commendations, which is the ideal as Toastmaster suggests. One good thing about the way he evaluated was there was a good recall of segments like God protection system, Guru protection system. Also, what I loved about his evaluation was the clear categorization of suggestions, like 1, 2, 3, which makes it very tangible and for me to take notes if I was being evaluated. I also love the idea, something that I learned from you today, is the idea of giving space to an idea to breathe, which is something that I also would incorporate in my speeches. So thank you. Coming back to Ajay sir's topic, I love the topic. I love the overall theme today. All the speakers, including the Toastmaster of the day today, it was a very contemplative session where everybody was very calm and starting from Toastmaster of the day and Ajay sir. It was something that it was a very peaceful session. Everybody was a slow-paced, speaking on a particular theme, a particular kind of a topic. And Ajay sir was no less. He did exactly what I expected of him to do. The topic, faith and belief, this is very endearing topic for me. It is very close to me. But I think everybody I saw was very much involved in your topic. The way beautifully you explained the topic so beautifully using many different examples like temple and rope walker and watch, and there was one more thing which I forgot. So amazingly, good job done. Next we have for Toastmaster Jyoti, we have the evaluator Toastmaster Linky. Please come on the stage.
Dear Toastmasters and guests, I want to congratulate Jyoti for her first icebreaker speech today. Jyoti took us on a journey from a small town classroom all the way to Tokyo, to Singapore, and back to India. Let me walk you through what went well and where she could maybe further sharpen a little. She opened at school and it was specific enough that we could all picture our classrooms. From there, she addressed what matters to her, showing up, adapting, taking the next step, which set the tone for the whole speech. This wasn't a list of places she lived, it was a story of who she became. That was reinforced, it was reinforced with a lovely personal detail, being a blessing Lakshmi for her mom and son for her dad. In 2 phrases, she told us exactly what values she was raised with before she had even left home. That's sufficient enough storytelling for me, I would say. The 3-wing structure that you did thrice, you repeated, I had my wings. Quality, you learned with that, you meant you learned quality in Japan, growth in Singapore, voice in India. Gave the speech a clean, memorable shape. I think the structure was very good. One area to build on, I would say, is eye contact. I felt that you were looking mostly that side. So you had 3 parts to the entire 3 countries that you talked about. Maybe in one you could have focused here, in the second part maybe here, and third maybe here. So we would have loved it that you were talking to all of us. The other thing is your pathway is engage with humor. So maybe in your next speech, this was icebreaker, you could just add that. What really landed the speech was the ending. For me, she closed by tying back to that opening. She talked about how she was raised, and she she became the person her parents wanted her to be, discovering, finally choosing for herself and finding her voice in India. That full circle structure is what turns three travel stories into one. Continuous journey of becoming, paired with her confident gestures for her wings and missing something that was repeated again, and I think that grabbed the audience attention multiple times. And it was a physical thread to follow through the story. Overall, a warm, well-structured speech with some cultural texture and a strong emotional payoff. The one thing to build on, bring your eyes overall to the entire room. The way that you took us through your journey. Thank you.
Now evaluating the evaluation of Linky. I love the idea of the clear demarcation of what went well and what could be improved in Toastmaster Jyoti's speech. Also, what I loved about your evaluation was the purport, your own understanding of the story, which not just made us recall the story, but it gave us an explanation of what your perspective looked like for Jyoti's story. You took CRC approach, good job done. I could not find any way to improve that evaluation. Just one thing that I found it contradictory. Instead, in Jyoti's speech, what I found was, although the story was very immersive, I was with you from Japan to Singapore to India. Good usage of pauses, because it allowed each segment of yours to be absorbed, which I loved. And also, yeah, the only challenge or the drift I have with your evaluation was that I found the ending was not the kind of ending that I would expect from a structure, from a story structure. What I expected was the ending should leave us with a very clear one-line message of what happened, how it transformed you. And if I did not get that, then maybe the next time when I'm writing the story, this is something that I can work on when I think, what would my audience be, why should my audience listen to me? If I have a clear-cut indication of what the ending looks like, what is the lesson learned, how it transformed me, I have something for the audience to take away with themselves. That is the only thing. Otherwise, the story was beautiful. I was very much immersed.
Because I already had the message, but that red card, made me nervous and I get it.
Yeah, so red card often, and this is something I should probably, I'll come back to Suchi's evaluation. This is something that we can learn from Suchi. Even I have to learn this from Suchi, because oftentimes when we look at the red card, we get disbalanced. And that is when the challenge comes, how to recalibrate ourselves back into the balance, where we have to complete our story. Maybe use different kind of words, but we have to end it up well, because the story was beautiful. But there is no point by the end. Normally people remember the first part of the story and the last part of the story. If you somehow forget the last part, then in my case, I was hanging, waiting for that insight to come, that aha moment to come. So that is something that we could probably work on. Next we have Toastmaster Ruchira evaluating Toastmaster Suchi.
If you want to go by the author, it is such.
I could, but whatever you like.
Thank you and congratulations to Suchi. I think we need to hear for her. It wasn't easy to manage each one of you out here. You tried to be difficult audience, but she did a better job. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes.
Right? She kept her calm. She kept her composure. She was in a state where she did give a couple of you a blind eye. Even you tried your best to shake her, off the track. But she knew her job, she knew where to start and what answer to give you. So congratulations on that. Alright, it could be very, very unsettling, at this stage. I mean, imagine yourself in her shoes, sitting here because you don't know what the audience are throwing at you, right? You're not prepared for it. It's like one of the impromptu table topping. So for me, one thing that stood out was, of course, her authenticity, because whatever little I have heard about her speeches, even the last one on COVID, was she speaks out of her personal experiences, and that keeps the audience glued to her. You know, and when she was trying to say, get your attention to this fact. May I please get your attention to this fact? This was only the ones who were even yearning to yawn. You know, they stopped it because she was looking for your attention there. So that's one thing, Shuchi, I think we all have to learn from you. And that's what I said, that you share your personal experiences. Those 3 words, do you remember that?
Card, ocean.
Right? Yeah. So she tried to revolve her story around the first element, which was card. And this is my recommendation, that had she woven, you know, even the ocean and the clock. So when she started, we were actually looking for, at least I was looking for, where the story is heading towards. You know, is she going to web all the 3 elements into her story? So that's one thing. If you have already introduced those 3 words to the audience, if she could just, you know, get them all together so that it leaves a little message with the audience, because as you remember the 3 words, but you might not be able to remember what she said on ocean and what she said on clock. But cards were coming up. She was revisiting the card here and there. All right, so this is one, and if I have to offer one suggestion, it may be regarding the data that you shared, because that left her a little unsettling. There was somebody who threw it from there, that what is the source? All right, so if you have your data, your statistics that you're using in place, but she still handled it well. She tried to wriggle out of that, but maybe the 2 suggestions I would say, that at times you could say that, why don't you go back and, you know, look at the data? I mean, don't disturb me. or you could just say that, oh, the sources have been immense. There are many. I can't even quote one. All right. So that would leave them unsettled. So overall, a sincere, well-delivered speech, PM Shruti, which showed your confidence, your composure that stayed, and I wish I had that, and genuine connections with the audience. Congratulations once again.
Evaluating Toastmaster Ruchira's evaluation. One good thing about evaluation that we could learn from Toastmasters Ruchira was the evaluation itself became a dialogue when she started asking the audience, how did you feel about it? So it's not just that her perspective only she's mentioning, she's also asking, bringing people in, which is also a good thing. She took note of the little nuances and rightly quoted, which was an amazing job done. Used CRC approach, again a very good thing. I agree with the data part, that yes, whenever we are quoting some sort of data, we should have plan that if I am being cross-questioned about that data, how would I respond to it? But at the same very time, maybe it was a joke, but I don't think when you are presenting your numbers to an audience, which could be a little difficult, it would be a wise idea to tell them to check on the data by themselves. But yeah, I think we should be well prepared. Any number that we are putting in, any fact that we are putting in, we need to have that in place. I mean, we should need to have that fact quoted somewhere. Coming to Suchi, I think I have a long this thing for her. Difficult audience carried out so well. And we have all, I think most of us, the members, we have seen the trajectory that Toastmasters Suchi has taken. When she came to the stage first time, I think the second person out here could not have heard what she was saying, because she was so polite, very, like her voice was so calming and at the same, not very loud. But today she is like a full-blown speaker, and I would, commend you on this one. People were grabbing that attention by disturbing you, but you could again bring them back here. You weren't bothered by that interruption. You were so polite with taking that nonsense and still, bringing people back in. So I would say amazing recalibration. She did not lose track of her speech, which is the most difficult part. Because oftentimes when we come onto the stage, when we prepared a speech, without any disturbance, we lose track of the speech. And imagine if, and usually this happened with me, the first time I saw this people challenging the difficult audience was when Toastmaster Ajay sir was giving his speech when Sriram was the president. And I did not know that why people are saying, and I was like stood up and I said, why are you disturbing, why don't you let him speak? And then somebody told that this is how it's supposed to happen. And today, when we started, I think I told Kritika that only few members, I think 4 or 5 selected members can disturb her, otherwise we can't. But this time I saw that almost everybody was disturbing her. Every sentence was bombarded with some sort of a disturbance. So amazing job done. This is something that I should probably learn from you. That how do you bring back and recalibrate and keep that track on. In fact, it was so difficult for me to listen to your story. I forgot your story because I was so disturbed by these little nuances. But then there was one thing that was amazing about when you spoke about your teacher passing away, that one could see that how emotionally invested you were in the speech.
Yes.
Which is a great thing to pull off with all this disturbance. Kudos. Great job. Again, great round of applause. Next we have Toastmasters Sachin for evaluating Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you, TM Abhilash. My target speaker, TM Abhilash, he had the title Nothing. Absolutely. It's like we all have been doing one thing or another, and he definitely pulled out those examples, and I was literally relating to those whenever I go to Metro and I have to wait for like 3 or 4, even 4 minutes, and I'm like, read or maybe plug in my earphones and get going. We don't see with ourselves, and that was the entire story. Abhilash, your strength is your calmness, the composure that you have in your body, and the voice that you deliver with, that's your strength. Interesting way of starting a speech I've never seen before. Waiting for that 20 seconds, it was unsettling for me. I was like, say something, man, come on. You are just looking at I know like you want us to feel that moment, and it was great, it was unsettling, but had you not addressed that moment, that could have been disaster. But since you addressed that, hey, this is what I am doing for this is so intentional, and it was perfect, it landed so well. But you never know, it did not land so well at other places, but you pulled it really good. Your entire story revolved around how people are so busy and there are tons of emails, and you also mentioned one of the anecdotes for Newton, that he was sitting under the tree and discovered this law of gravitation and so on and so forth. The entire message was that spend time with yourself, you never know what you can pull off. Good job there. I have a few of the recommendations that you can include in your further speeches that would literally enhance your speaking. You would be unstoppable. One of them is definitely your eyes. It was not very connected to entire audience. You were looking at their desk, probably on the floor sometime. And this is with all of us. We don't know where to look at. Everybody's like, where to look at? Should I look at their forehead? Should I look at the top? Where? Should I just have a glance of entire room? And I have quoted this before. If you don't know where to look at that one person for 5 to 7 minutes and let them smile. Even they are not getting anything what you are speaking, you would just look at one person, they would definitely smile, and boom, and your energy literally got shifted. Another thing is unconscious movement. I talk it a lot, that people just move a lot on the stage, and that should be reduced to a calculated move. No need to. I am not a big fan of moving on a stage too much. It shows that you are not authoritative enough. So be mindful of your body. Your voice could have done a little bit better with the modulation stuff, but your story flew smooth. We all were there with you with your calmness, and your message definitely landed well. Let's spend time with yourself and let the job done. Thank you.
I agree with most of the points that you've made. Good CRC approach used. And one good thing with Sachin's evaluation was whatever suggestions he had brought forward, he suggested with the technique so that we know how to improve that, which is a good thing. When it comes to Abhilash's speech, again I agree with Sachin that it was a very attention-grabbing hook that you started off with. and the right time when you pulled off and you explained why this pause is. Overall, the speech was very, very beautiful, very calming voice. People were engaged, immersed in your story. There was one thing that I could suggest is using words like crap and bullshit might work here, but maybe if you're preparing to present it to an audience which is like a larger audience or maybe some senior leadership or something, these words, people could feel a little offended, which maybe you can work on. And oftentimes it is like, because we use it so often, while we are giving a speech, when we forget those words, it is very common that these words will pop up. Maybe start replacing these words with something else in your normal day life. And that is when, because I also use something like nonsense, and I immediately remembered that this is something I need to work on, because nonsense is not a kind of word that I would be using in my practice. And also, out of everyone out here, maybe DMN and terminology like dopamine and its effects, something that I can probably relate to, but there might be, I have been told, because when I give trainings, I've been told that go easy on the terminology. Maybe you can use examples, stories and metaphors to explain that, so that people can get the knowledge, the insight of what you're saying, but not the terminology. They don't get confused with the terminology. That is something that you can work with. Otherwise, the speech was good. Very good. Now I would like to call individual tag team members, starting off with our counter Toastmaster.
Yeah.
You was
Yeah, I had to wear 2 different hats. I was evaluating Abhilash, but now this is for our counter, where I had to jot down how many people have spoken those filler words. I was surprised. Trust me, I have done our counter so many times in a previous term, like 5 times in a row, and then I took a pause that I was not doing our counter. I was doing just sub row. But after so long that I took this role, and I was so surprised that people were not speaking fuller words, and I was like, what should I write? And I couldn't do anything. I was so helpless, and I could just write no filler words. Literally no filler words. Ajay sir, no filler words. Julie, well done. No filler words. Suchi, no filler words. Manish, Ruchira, Kritika, she did T-mod, like that long, and no filler words. I was looking for it. Okay, just say and nothing. Bhavish, you did 10 times 1 1 you know. Abhilash, you said 1 time. Linky 2 times and rest of them flawless. Amazing job.
Thank you Toastmaster Sachin for this amazing evaluation. There's one thing, and it's not personal, but if let's say somebody uses any filler word more than 5 times, we just say that it is more than 5 times. We never put a number, because it was my case and it would be like a defensive action, but it is not. Okay. This is what the normal practice is, because nobody should feel that these are the kind of numbers in comparison to other people. I've but nothing personal. Okay, next we have Toastmaster Alicia, who was a grammarian today.
So good afternoon everyone. I'm ready with my report. So starting with word of the day and idiom of the day count. So word of the day was used 1 time and idiom of the day used 4 times. So congratulations. Now I observed there were 2 incorrect sentences, grammar mistake. Someone used a apple. So before a word start with a vowel, we cannot use a banana is a right, but instead of a apple, we use an apple is a right word. And someone used in a Sunday evening. So for specific dates, days, we cannot use in. So on is a right. And now moving to effective language and good vocab. Orient is a good word, trajectory is a good word, meticulous, retrospect, regal, composer. And I observed few good sentences. Someone used faith comes from belief. life suddenly gave me wings, life gave me wings. Give up time for yourself, and a rewrite is not lowering your standard, what matters to you, but it's more novel than that. And second, we are allowed to change our mind direction, change the story. Without it meaning, we fail. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lisa. Now we test your knowledge. Knowledge, not just knowledge, your awareness, your attention. That would be tested by Toastmaster Hema, who was playing the active listener today.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll begin with the quote that I gave. I quoted some management philosopher. Who was it?
Peter Drucker.
Bravo. That's a good start, but that's not the actual activity. So as we all have played two truths and one lie, I'm going to do the same thing with the active listening activity that we are going to have. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the first one, a small town girl with wings. So these questions are going to be from that topic. 13 years later, Jyoti came from Singapore to India. Riding a scooter in 1970s is a headlines. 13 years in Japan shaped her life ahead. Which is the lie?
No, scooter was in 80s, not in 70s. Scooter was in the 80s.
Yeah. 1980s is the answer. Thank you. And in faith and belief, belief is not turned into faith. Belief is included through doctrines and practices. Beyond all five senses, there is God, which is a lie.
Which were the 3 points?
Okay, the first one I'll repeat. The first one, belief is not turned into faith. Belief is included through doctrines and practices. Beyond all five senses. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
First one is a lie. And the third one, from the changing script facilitation that Kritika did, I'm going to have 3 sentences here. Consistency is a virtue. It works when you have outgrown your past selves. The second one, every messy human story has a hidden character. And the third one, a detour usually introduces us to strangers. Which of these 3 is a lie?
Second one.
Second one. Second.
Are you able to answer?
Let Kritika answer.
You said that consistency is a virtue once you've outgrown yourself. What I said about that.
Do you want me to repeat or? Do you want me to repeat? Let me repeat it once.
What do you mean by
Consistency is a virtue. It works when you have outgrown your past selves. Second point is every messy human story has a hidden character. The third one, a detour usually introduces us to strangers.
First one is a lie. Because I didn't understand it.
Second one. No, first is the lie. Consistency is a virtue and it works. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. Yeah, I have the proof there.
Yeah, and I have it over here.
And the next one, the card he never turned over. These are the 3 sentences. A message from a batchmate revealed the mentor's demise. Second one, difficulty comes with one path. Narrow roads are usually taken by 1% of people. Which
2%.
2%.
The third one.
98 plus 2, yeah.
Okay. Actually, there is a mistake of mine here. Difficulty comes with 2 paths. So
Yeah,
you are good. So people have done great jobs. Good job, Toastmasters.
Become 2 lines of truth.
Yeah, and the last one is from the table topics. Time machine plot twist reminded us to embrace the present. The dog's life is sometimes the fullest. And the third one, prepare for the storm just to keep yourself safe even when it's not practiced.
Third one.
Third one.
Third one. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Third one, yeah.
Third one.
Good. Good job. Thank you.
Today I actually thought that I'm paying attention. I have been challenged by Hema, and I'm reconsidering. I should probably take up not GE, active listening role. I had no one answer because this is like, you know, active listening.
listener for next week.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Yeah, done.
No.
That one
I
You
didn't want.
said it yourself.
Okay.
Active listener.
My point is, this is active listening plus the next version, pro version. I mean, you know, if you think about, you know, when you ask questions, people are able to answer. But when you think of three equivocal, you know, facts, it is so difficult to you know, whether it was this or that. Okay. Overall, should I bring the timer first or?
Timer last.
No, like, should I give my overall thing?
Not choice.
Timer first, yes.
You got the G.
Okay. Let me invite Toastmaster Ganesh, who was playing the role of timer today.
Okay. So I think I'll keep my report short and crisp. Everyone was within time except Ram. He exceeded around 1 minute. And I was confused with the time with your time. She mentioned 10 to 13 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes?
12 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so you are also in the within the time. So yeah.
Nice and crisp. I thought Kritika was out, you know.
No.
Okay. I thought so. I have no right to say this, to be very honest with you, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're 21, so I'm letting it go.
Okay. Brilliant topic, Kritika, and amazingly introduced. I found the whole overall session to be very interactive. You were conversing with people, which transitioned from being a monologue to a dialogue. You were having conversation with people, everybody was engaged. Good job done. It was like a live performance, very good speaking role that you took up in Team Ward itself. A discussion that people were engaged with, definitely. One good thing when you ask people questions while you were giving examples is like we are learning the same topic that you are mentioning from different people, from different perspectives. So somehow we are stepping into their universes and bringing up that knowledge into our universe. The transitioning was good. You summed it in the end really good. There's one thing that you probably can work on, because there was one section where I felt that you were exceeding the time because you had notes prepared. Now, probably I'm not the best judge because I continue with what I would have done exactly the same thing, but what is something that I'm probably learning is, if I have, let's say, one paragraph left and the time is up, maybe I could use different words than my written content, and I can sum it up in 1 or 2 sentences just because the timing is up. So that is something that you can work on. I'm also trying my best to work on this. Another good thing that about your topic was, your session was that you raised a question in the end. It wasn't like you gave a solution to it. You raised a question. Now I, as an audience, would continue to have that question lingering on in my mind, which will evolve. So that's the best approach to go forward with. Overall meeting was good. Something I need to work on, because I usually am in time every single Sunday, but today I got late, so I don't know when the meeting started. So I'm not sure about that. About tag team, they explained the role quite well. Timer was sitting in the front. He raised the cards rightly. Under Vijay's supervision, I think this is something which I found for the first time, where word of the day and idiom of the day are written on the blackboard or the whiteboard, which is like what happens every time. But along with this, examples, so that people can refer to it. How to best use these words in idiom of the day. That's what I'm saying. This was a good part. Something that we can maybe practice every time. There wasn't any crosstalk. Thank you, Saurabh. Amazingly, Bhavya's not there today, so that helps.
Bhavesh was the general evaluator that helped.
Okay. There were one or two occasions when people entered without, like while the speaker was speaking. That's something that we can work on. Usually that happens with the guests because they don't know the format. Members were not that, they were considerate about it. Overall, it was good. The TDM was amazing. The topics that Tanika had chosen was also like very interesting topics. And Tanika, you made it welcoming and comforting for people to come onto the stage, even guests, which made it a good talk. Good job. You made it a good job out of it. Thank you so much. And this is my, I think, second GE session in the whole 2-year span that I've spent here, or even more.
I would like to add one point.
Please.
People were leaving the stage without handshaking with the team.
Yes.
That was,
yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us, we could not think about this. Whenever we leave the stage or whenever we come onto the stage, it is mandatory that you exchange hands, and that's when you go and come onto the stage. That's how you transition. Thank you so much. It was a learning curve for me too. Please, handing over to Toastmaster Vishnu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Have we rolled out the voting form?
Yes.
Can I get one of the voting forms? Alisha? So guys, the voting forms are out. Please.
How do the guests get it?
I'm doing
You can, you are not in the guest group, so you can, one of the members can share the mobile later on.
I'm not in the guest. You're in the guest. She's not in the guest.
Okay. Hima, can you share your mobile with the...
I think Suchi has restricted one person, one phone.
Is that the case, Suchi? I don't think
Last
so.
time I was taking it was not.
One response.
It has been restricted
No,
now.
but one mobile can have multiple responses. Like I'm voting for Alicia's mobile because my mobile is on the...
Yeah.
You have multiple Gmail IDs?
I have.
Only one Gmail. So you vote, then I'll vote.
Announce the name.
Okay, so guys, a quick roll call. For best speaker, we have Toastmaster Ajay Mehra. Sir, raise your hand. Then Toastmaster Jyoti. Jyoti, raise your hand. Toastmaster Abhilash. Shuchi, also for the best speaker. Then best evaluators, DTM Manish. Toastmaster Linky. Toastmaster Sachin. Sachin, raise your hand. Toastmaster Ruchira is not there. She had to leave. Best Ox role players are counter Sachin again. Then timer Ganesh. Ganesh, raise your hand. Grammarian Toastmaster Alisha. Active listener Toastmaster Hima. Then for table topics we have DTM Saurabh. Saurabh, raise your hand. Then we have Neeraj. Guest Neeraj. Toastmaster Abir at the back. Guest Priya. Then we have Toastmaster Chira. Then for best role player we have T-Mod Kritika, General Evaluator Toastmaster Bhavesh, and TTM Tanisha. Tanisha, raise your hand. Tanika. Okay, spelling is incorrect. Please read it as Tanika, although it's written as Tanisha. Tanika, raise your hand. So, Ganesh, I will vote from your mobile.
अकाउंट कैसे स्विच करोगे देखो
अकाउंट कैसे स्विच करना हो तो तुम्हें करोगे ना स्विच आई डोंट नो फ्रॉम
नहीं यार आप
Okay, in the interest of time, let's move ahead. I think all the guest introductions got done, right?
Yes.
Is there any guest left? Someone might have joined later. No. So any feedback from the guests, starting from Neeraj? Any inputs for today's session? Any feedback?
No, it was a flawless meeting. I love the topic. The table topics were very nicely done. And the evaluation was something to learn from. So today I don't have any feedback as such, and I just love the meeting today. I think it's a different energy altogether.
Thank you, Neeraj. Now, any feedback for today's session?
I would say the same. Thoroughly enjoyed the session. A lot of positive energy and looking forward to work together. Thank you.
It was really nice and very well organized.
looking forward to part of this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I feel I never always underestimate the evaluation part. Today, actually saw it in live, and it was very convincing. So, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think I resonate with all the guests who've just spoken before me. I truly admired the way Toastmaster Manish and Toastmaster Linky gave their evaluations. That was something definitely to learn from. I love the format of the meeting. It was great to be here. Thank you.
It's quite new for me, but very well planned and very organized.
It's the third time for me today. I think across the three meetings, the evolution of the meeting has become more and more structured, more and more streamlined. So I think we are progressing in the right direction. No feedback from my side. I think we are going ahead in a very good pace.
I think I like the overall theme of the meeting. Theme especially, I think it was very retrospecting and everything, and overall flow was very good. And it's my first experience to have this meetup offline, so it was a very good experience.
I would say it was a great experience, and I think I really like how the sessions are structured and how you definitely follow a particular format in a Toastmaster session. And second thing is definitely the evaluation. These are also quite valuable. Looking forward to more of these sessions. Any feedback? Keeping in mind your previous Toastmaster experience, anything for us to learn? Anything we can do better?
I felt that the evaluation part was really interesting, as I can get real clear cue points for the speeches and wherein the improvements can be made. And I think that it is the improvements that actually make us a better speaker every day, and it's a really an everyday practice to speak very well. And I believe that Toastmasters is a way to achieve that. Thank you.
That we are done with Shuchi. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I'll share some of my thoughts. So I really liked few things about this session. Few things I really liked. So for example, Toastmaster Kritika, while she was doing the T-Mod session, she was able to have a seamless transition into the topic, and she did achieve this thing that she was able to make the speakers the hero of the story. So kudos to that. I think many of the T-Mods have not been able to do that, but it's something that we can really learn. Then Shuchi really handled the interruptions in the speech, but I think I am also on a similar pathway, so a new horror unlocked for me. So, but the really defining moment was when she did the Uno reverse on Kritika. She was interrupting and she asked a question Kritika back. So that was really enlightening for me also, that that's one of the way to handle the interruptions. Then what else? Then the really disturbing pause that Avlash had in the speech. I was looking like I am on the stage and he's the audience. Like he did a Uno reverse on the nervousness on me. So yeah. So this is something that. So I agree with Bhavish when he said that this session was a little different and different thoughts are going on my mind, and some takeaways that I am having after listening to everyone is that, you know, people are planning in their life, they are pivoting also, so maybe it's time for me also to introspect and reflect on what I've been doing.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, are we done with the results?
We don't have the certificates, so I have not written.
Okay, we don't have the certificate, so we will give them to the respective winners subsequently when we get them printed, probably in the next session. So best table topic speaker is guest Priya.
Yeah, I can.
Running low on throat delegates.
Best role player for teamwork, Toastmaster Kritika. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I have to take it back. Then best off role player, Toastmaster Hima. Congratulations. Best evaluator, DTM Manish. Congratulations, Manish. I'll take it back, sorry. Then for best speaker, Toastmaster Suchi. Thank you everyone. With that, we call the session to a close and we will meet at DLF Cyber Park for the networking lunch, self-sponsored networking lunch. And just before we end the session, any takers for T-Mod in the next session?
By default.
T-Mod.
By default,
रोज तो हम ले लेंगे T-Mod और G कर लो, बाकी तो मिल जाएगा। T-Mod, G. Who is going to take T-Mod? Saurabh? T-Mod कर दोगे, टाइम है?
मुश्किल है थोड़ी, नेक्स्ट वीक टाइट है।